Ready?
Ready. Can you talk about how you feel right now?
I feel right now overwhelmed because I just have so many ideas in my head and so many things I want to do, and I don't know where to start. And you just want to be like, oh, fuck it, I won't make anything. But I really want to now.
Why now?
I think because Girls is ending. I guess I'm shedding some of that fear of making things or being accountable for something that I make, and so things are opening up.
So can you talk about what your style says about you?
I love clothes, and I love dressing up, and I love being in a costume, in a way, for me, in a costume. I like a story. In my head, I do create a story.
Why did you cut your hair?
I cut my hair because I felt like my hair was really one of the only things that made me feel pretty. I felt like my hair was my go-to trick. I really believed for a while that without it, I would be boring. I was having a terrible moment with my husband in our relationship, and I was extremely hurt by him and extremely angry at him. And so I felt, I was feeling self-destructive, but for whatever reason, I didn't do something self-destructive, really. I just cut my hair. A couple weeks later, I said I wanted to go shorter, and he said, I'll do it, and he cut it. It was really nice.
So he it was like kind of full circle in a way.
Yeah, it was quite kind of romantic. It's nice to have someone you love cut your hair.
What are some assumptions that you think people make about you based on your image?
Well, I have the interesting position of knowing what people think about me because people write it, and it's, and there's a lot of this carefreeness. I don't give a fuck what people think. Mm-hmm. That is not true. I really do. It's not that I think I have a healthy outlook to the way what people think about me, but I'm not this sort of free spirit by any means. I am riddled with neuroses, and and self-loathing and fear and feeling inadequate. I have confidence in areas. My abilities I am not confident in. One of the reasons I was hired for Girls was because of a persona that I have anyway. I hadn't been in anything else, so I was hired for some sort of brightness that I guess they wanted in the show that was specific. It wasn't an ability I had, and I think that made me both feel shitty about myself and have a big ego. I can bullshit people into thinking that I'm showing myself.
But there's something else inside that you want to express that maybe...
Yeah, it's not my project. Girls wasn't my project. Jessa is not my character, but she became my character. So the first couple of years, I did feel like I was just I was just working for someone. So I didn't play by the rules at first in the show, and I didn't learn my lines, and I didn't stay on my mark, and I didn't know what any technical word meant. I was just waiting for it to be over every day. And then when I started to pick up on all the ways my performance could be better, and not just emotionally, but also my performance could be better, knowing where the camera was, knowing, having read the entire story rather than just my piece, or whatever, I evolved, and I became much more professional, and then I got really into the actual performance of it.
Where are the neuroses that people wouldn't know?
My therapist says that whenever I walk into my studio, that there's basically like a Nazi in there holding a gun to my head. Like, if you don't make a good piece right now, you're nothing. Like that's how I feel every time I walk in there.
Yeah. That's resistance. Like to think that you
yeah.
have to be so great
I know.
all the time. Like that's another form
Well,
of resistance.
that's resistance and ego, which the same thing. The same thing. That everything I make is gonna be great or has to be great. Like, who are you, as that you are so special and great that you don't have to make shitty work and practice and get on the floor and make things that no one cares about and throw them out. I have to throw them out. And
can you talk about an insecurity that you've had in your life that
you either have overcome or
that you're working to overcome?
I'm very insecure about my capabilities in a lot of areas. One of them being parenting. Everyone says no one's ready to have a baby. I was not ready to have a baby, and I really was not thinking about what I was doing. And I was doing it almost in the same way as getting a haircut or getting a tattoo. You know, I was in a place in my life where it was like, is Jemima gonna be okay, or is she gonna be a fucking mess, you know, drug addicted, like, you know, lost cause, or is she gonna make it? What's gonna happen? So everyone was like, Jemima's fine because she's married now and she's having a baby. And I felt like to a lot of people it looked like I was getting my life together. The guilt hit me the second like she came out of me.
Why?
Just that like I was her mother, you know. And also that.
Why?
Because I was just I realized, I was like, oh my God, what did I just do? I just like released like a suffering person, you know, and they're just gonna give me the baby. They should really like have a more of a like a screening for people at the hospital to before they give the baby to you. I was still going through my 20s with her as a toddler. And there was something that felt unfair about that to her, because I wasn't ready to stay home every night, and I wasn't ready to, I didn't have the patience, because I still had a lot of self-centeredness. When you have a baby, you're limited to what you're able to do in your life. And so I trapped myself in a way that made me comfortable. Mm-hmm. You know, if I have a baby, then I can't make art, you know, and I can't go out there and do these things. I'm restricted. I think I have a safety in feeling trapped, but I also have like an allergy to it too. And I think, you know, my practice in my marriage is to feel free and be committed, but also be committed to someone. You know, there is art in that. We couldn't be more different, and so it really makes no fucking sense, me and him together. And but actually, it's a pretty fascinating relationship for both of us. Because we do love each other so much, but when he walks into a room, like, it's so cheesy, but anytime I hear like the keys in the door, I could be so angry at him, but just something in me relaxes when he walks in a room.
So when was the last time that you cried?
2 nights ago. I'm just a very dissatisfied person, and I have moments of feeling empty, moments. All the time, and sometimes, you know, you just get exhausted, you know, you're just like, I can't keep searching for this, like I thought I'd gotten somewhere, I thought I'd realized something, and I thought I'd changed, and then but yet you're still not happy. Just sat and cried for a bit, and I listened to I really love Bette Midler. So I looked at Bette.
The thing that makes you cry more.
She doesn't. Yes, she has this song that makes me cry a lot, and it is Not Wind Beneath My Wings.
When do you feel the most free?
I used to think freedom was being not attached to anything. I've been working on redefining that freedom is not about being not attached to people, you know. And people loving you is, you can still be free when people love you. And that is something I learned as a child, was that love was very suffocating and entrapment. It was entrapping. Alone meant freedom.
So pushing people away.
Yeah, I do that.
When do you feel the most beautiful?
Around my husband. He makes me feel very attractive. And it doesn't always feel like it's based on something physical, but it always manifests that way for him. The other day, I was getting dressed we were getting dressed to go out, and we were going to go on a date. We were going to go out to dinner. And I was leaning over to put my shoes on, and he came in from that way, and he was like, oh, this was like 3 days ago. And I was like, what? He's like, that shape. When you bend over to put your shoes on, he's like, that shape from, but he's like, that is art. I was like, oh my God.
What does self-acceptance mean to you?
I don't know. Self-acceptance. You know, a lot of the times when I'm really beating myself up about something, it's either because of something I did, something in the past, or something that has not happened yet, or that I want to do that I've already failed in my mind. But I'm never where I need to. I'm never in my head. I'm never like right where I need to be. I'm always doing something wrong, based on past and future. Hopefully, self-acceptance will follow that. I'm trying to stay present.
Why in your body, in your skin, in your body, in your journey? Why is it a good place to be?
I think I know what you're asking. I'm just going to interpret.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
fine.
say however you want.
Yeah, I'm fucking lucky. Like I'm healthy and I'm white and I have, you know, some money, and I'm on a TV show. Like I have a lot of luxury, you know, to do what I want to do, you know. So you know, everything that burdens me is really in here. You know, I don't have the obstacles that a lot of other people have. You know, I do get really unhappy, but I have the floor. I really have the floor to do what I want when I'm ready. So it is a good place to be.
How do you feel right now?
I feel better. I felt shitty this morning, I will say, but I feel better talking to you guys, and I feel confident, like you know, like ready to do something, but still scared. But the fear, more and more, is making it exciting.